Love all those reactions.
Yeah.
What a big night. Thanks for joining us here at 6 a.m. on this Monday. Hope you had a nice weekend, everyone. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Nada Irampour, and we are glad to say Evan Narani's back. Joining us here this morning.
Surprise.
Yay.
Whoa,
He's back.
A jump scare. Happy to be back. No, I mean, I was off for the entirety of last week.
Yeah.
I was in Hawaii.
We missed you.
Beautiful. But I came back to some warm temperatures here in San Diego, too. 70s out there yesterday afternoon. We're going to carry those conditions on over to start off this new week. But one thing that is different is the fog. Dense fog advisory is in effect until 10 a.m. out along the coastline. It's going to help to keep our temperatures out by the water, mostly in the 60s. Right now, we're looking at about 5 miles of visibility in Carlsbad, less than a mile in Miramar. So we're pretty limited out by the coast, but that'll improve as the afternoon comes around. Look at those mid-70s toward our inland valleys and mountains. A very nice day ahead. Coming up, we'll talk about the chance for rain in the forecast by the end of this week. Back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you for that. And now this morning, President Donald Trump will speak with the leaders of Canada and Mexico just hours before aggressive tariffs take effect. This will impact imports from our two closest trading partners and from China.
Those countries are also planning retaliatory tariffs. CBS 8's Regina Yarita is live near the U.S.-Mexico border with how this could impact the cost for all of us here. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Ed. And we know that over the weekend, President Donald Trump announced steep new tariffs on the nation's largest trading partners. So that's a 25% tariff on imports coming from Mexico and Canada, and an additional 10% tariff on imports coming from China. Now, this aggressive move comes as he continues to crack down immigration on ties to curb the flow of deadly drugs. Industries are starting to prepare for new tariffs, but the question and concern is how this could impact consumers. So President Trump has stood firm on describing tariffs as import duties that are paid by foreign countries. But economists say they're in fact paid directly to the federal government by U.S. businesses. And rather than swallowing the costs, corporations typically hike their prices for those imported goods to make up the cost. Right now, it's still unclear whether the Trump administration will carve out some exceptions, such as oil and gas products. Petroleum analysts tell CBS that Canada provides a portion of the oil used in the U.S., which means that a 25% tariff on Canadian imports could add 30 to 40 cents a gallon at the pump within days of these tariffs taking effect. But here's other products that could see a price hike. Take a listen.
Restaurants are going to have to pay more than for food, particularly, again, those items that are produced in Mexico. The Mexican beer, the tequila, the strawberries, the avocados, things like that. And so they'll go up in price. And so that could then add to the cost then to consumers. You know, business will try to raise prices then to make up that added cost.
And how much this could all cost consumers is still up for discussion. We know President Donald Trump is supposed to speak with some of the leaders of these countries. So that is, again, something that they could reach an agreement, or another round of tariffs are expected to take effect starting at midnight. So we'll keep you guys updated. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Regina, thank you. E-commerce companies like Temu and Shein could be among the worst hit amid the tariffs on the imports from China. A supply chain analyst says that's because it closes a loophole of a duty-free exemption for low-value shipments. The Trump administration says the loophole prevented customs officials from properly inspecting packages.
Players that will benefit most from this are companies that make those products domestically, or other companies that may make raw materials or other intermediate inputs that go into the supply chains of the U.S.
Amazon could be impacted as well as they ship items into the U.S. Right now, the U.S. dollar is surging amid these tariffs. It's at its highest level against Canada's currency since the year 2003. It's also the strongest against the Mexican peso since 2022. The exchange rate is over 21 pesos to $1 U.S. dollar.
Today, businesses around the country will be closed, many of them due to a protest called Day Without Immigrants. Common Stock here in San Diego is one of those restaurants taking part in this. On social media, they say, quote, "This is not a political statement. It is a moment of recognition. The reality is that without immigrants, our restaurant and our industry at large simply do not function," end quote. The nationwide movement aims to raise awareness about immigrants' contributions to the United States.
Well, today, San Diego City Council will be discussing a new ordinance that aims to preserve affordable housing.
CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us live along Harbor Island with what this proposal would do. We know housing's a major topic here. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. And the word preserve pretty much hits the nail on the head right here. It's designed to keep affordable housing as affordable housing, specifically when it comes to the rental market. So let's break down exactly what this proposal would go ahead and do. This was something that was first passed by committee back in November of last year. So let's break it down. Affordable housing units are constructed or designated that will update their deed to include language that mandates that the affordable rental rate exists for a period of time. But of course, a period of time can run out. Those things can expire. But how and when owners decide to sell has been an issue, according to housing advocates, and the impact of when they sell it could end that lower income rental status. They claim state law contains a loophole where owners will sell affordable housing units before they're required to notify the city per the deed restriction, so that whoever will buy it could then hike up the rent. So now if this is approved, owners would have to tell the city if they are selling right away. Potential buyers approved by the city would put in bids to continue operating the unit as low-income affordable housing. And even if the original owner chooses someone else to go with, another private company, the city-approved buyers would get another opportunity to outbid that person. Now, the measure also prevents buying low-income housing and then renovating it in the future to jack up rent. The full city council will be voting on this measure later today. Again, the housing committee already approved of it. We'll have that meeting with the city council starting at 2 p.m. today, but we do expect to hear from city council members like City Council member Vivian Moreno and others to preview this at 1 p.m., just an hour before that meeting starts. Eric and Netta.
All right, Chris, thanks for that. Today's sentencing is scheduled for a man convicted of murdering a Cathedral Catholic high school teacher in North Park. Prosecutors say Jesse Milton Alvarez shot and killed Mario Fierro in 2021 after discovering the victim was engaged to his ex-girlfriend. Alvarez was found guilty of first-degree murder, plus a special circumstance allegation of lying in wait. He faces a potential sentence of life without parole.
My son thought that I was dead. I kind of woke up to him saying, Mom, 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 you got to get up, you got to get out.
Today, the victims of a 2017 parkour gym collapse in Barrio Logan will head back to court. Vault PK, a parkour training facility, was holding a kids' night out on November 11, 2017, when a wooden platform collapsed. At least 40 people were hurt. Court documents say one of MTS's tenants ran a Groupon promotion to attract even more people to the warehouse, which at the time was Vault PK. The gym was subleasing space from San Diego Sports Entertainment, who was renting the space from MTS. The victims we talked to say they deserve better from MTS, who still owns the building now.
You have to do things right. You have to do things safe. You cannot put other people's lives at risk just to do something cheap.
CBS 8 reached out to MTS for comment and was told the agency doesn't comment on pending litigation. In earlier stories, MTS told us that they lease the space as is to San Diego Sports Entertainment.
And now today, 200 students from Black student unions will gather to raise the flag for Black History Month. Students will also give speeches expressing what Black History Month means to them. Pershing Middle School, Patrick Henry High School, Morse High School, and various other schools in the San Diego Unified School District will be attending this event, this flag raising. It will be held at 10:15 at the Eugene Brucker Education Center flagpole right out front.
Sounds like it's going to be a pretty nice day for that here. A pretty nice start to the week, right?
Absolutely. Yesterday was a warm one. We broke a couple records. Campo and Big Bear Mountain.
It was amazing.
Broke their afternoon high temperature records. Campo made it to the 80s yesterday. So incredible sight to see that in the month of February. Here we are. We're in the 80s inland. We are staying dry for a good portion of this week. Friday seems to be our best opportunity for rain in the forecast. But besides that, Monday through Thursday, we are likely at least to stay mostly on the drier side. Here's a live look outside at that dense fog that we are kicking off the morning with. You can see that whole layer of clouds down toward the bottom of your screen from Mount Soledad looking down. Most of us are under this layer of clouds. So dense fog advisory remains in effect until 10 a.m. Sunrise 6:42, so another 30 or so minutes. And then sunset coming at 5:24 p.m. When we talk about that chance for rain in the forecast, our best opportunity is going to come on Friday. But between now and then, we're just going to continue with partly cloudy skies. 49 degrees out there right now in Chula Chula Vista, 46 in Santee, 48 in Carlsbad. These temperatures overnight are mostly in the average range. And then by the afternoon, at least for today, warming up really nicely to the 60s out by the coast and the 70s inland. There's that 42% chance on Friday for rain in the forecast. But between now and Wednesday, what we're more likely to see is just a slow and steady increase in cloud cover. 78 degrees for Santee and El Cajon this afternoon. Easy opportunity for us to make it at least near 80 degrees toward a lot of those inland valleys. But out along the coastline, we're going to mostly stay in the 60s. And like I mentioned yesterday, Big Bear and Campo, those records now broken. Let's look at traffic. See how your drive times are outside right now. Slowing down just a bit on the Coronado Bridge, 11 miles per hour. That's slower than normal. It'll take you 13 minutes to get across from downtown to Coronado. 163 northbound and 8 westbound, both looking smooth as we kick off your 6 o'clock hour. We'll talk about whether or not we see any changes on the way, but for now, looking pretty good out there. Let's take a look at your border wait times right now. It's 40-minute wait at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. A little bit slower out there at the Otay Mesa Port of Entry. Should be able to get across the Otay Port of Entry in about an hour total.